You have opened a clothing store and have worked hard for a long time. Business is good, so you decide to open a second store. However, managing 2 stores alone is too much, so you hire an experienced person at a high salary to help you manage the original store, hoping to focus on getting the second store up and running. Unexpectedly, as soon as you handed the store over to someone else, the performance quickly declined. You quickly talked to him, and he talked endlessly about many practical difficulties, which seemed to make sense and you couldn't refute. But you always feel that something is wrong. When you were doing it yourself, it was very good, and he was indeed very experienced. You are very anxious and don't know what to do. Concept: agency dilemma. You own the store assets and are the owner, while he has the management ability and is the operator. This entrustment agency structure is ubiquitous in the entire business world. For example, in private enterprises, the shareholders' meeting entrusts the board of directors to exercise their rights, and the board of directors then entrusts the management to operate the company. Another example is state-owned enterprises, where the people entrust the National People's Congress to manage assets, and the National People's Congress then entrusts the government to invest and benefit, and the government invests in state-owned enterprises to entrust the management to operate specifically. This entrustment agency mechanism has a major problem. The principal believes that the main benefit is investment return, while the agent believes that the main benefit is labor results. Both feel that the other party has taken advantage of them, so the principal is unwilling to share profits with the agent, and the agent is unwilling to work hard for the principal. This phenomenon is also known as the agency dilemma. The well-known agency dilemma is called the ratchet effect. For example, the agent works hard and achieves excellent performance this year, but the principal will raise next year's performance expectations based on this year's performance. This performance indicator only goes up and never goes down, creating a phenomenon where the better the agent performs, the more trouble they will encounter, like a ratchet in a mechanical device that rotates in one direction, locks in place, and then continues to rotate. If the agent is rational, their optimal choice is to do everything possible to lower the principal's expectations for performance, even if it means losing market opportunities. The reason for the agency dilemma is that the entrustment agency mechanism was not designed with incentive compatibility. Incentive compatibility sounds very high-end, but it simply means the alignment of private interests and public interests. Everyone has a selfish side, and if there is a system arrangement where the more selfish you are, the more money the company makes, that system is an incentive compatible system. Application: how to solve the agency dilemma? I have a friend who has a company in Guangzhou that produces traditional compressors, pool heat pumps, and other equipment. To explore new business, they established a subsidiary. Like the clothing store owner, he also faces the problem of incentive compatibility, how to truly align the private interests of the subsidiary's leader with the company's public interests. He said that they should use a way to share risks with the general manager. For a startup company, every day is a risk. If the incentive incompatibility exists, the general manager will ignore the entrepreneurial risk. So what should be done? The general manager must purchase shares and become a shareholder. The company's registered capital is 10 million yuan. Please invest 1 million yuan from home to buy 10% of the shares of this new company. What if someone is talented but has no money? Can I give them shares? Absolutely not. Even if you borrow money, you must buy it. Because if you give it away, the general manager has not made any risk-taking decisions. Suddenly, employees are divided into 2 types. One type thinks, "I'll do what you tell me to do. If you don't tell me to do it, I won't do it. I won't do it if you ask me to pay for it." The other type thinks, "My contribution has always been greater than my income. I have long wanted to share the profits of the entire company." The second type of person is more suitable to lead this subsidiary. Finally, The general manager bought 10%, and the core management team also bought 15%, adding up to 25%. At this time, the parent company invested 5 million yuan, accounting for 50%. What about the remaining 25%? The parent company's executives were asked to invest at least 50,000 yuan each, adding up to 2.5 million yuan. A certain executive may think, "What does this have to do with me? Can I not invest?" No, you will be fired immediately if you don't invest. The subsidiary will definitely have the opportunity to use the parent company's resources in the future. If you are not incentive compatible, you may not help him, or even sabotage. You must invest. So, the 10 million yuan was raised. I asked the general manager of this subsidiary, "Why did you agree at the time?" He said, "Because I have confidence. I used to have an annual salary of 700,000 yuan in the parent company. After investing 100,000 yuan and becoming the general manager of the subsidiary, I had to set my own annual salary. Because I have confidence in the future, I set my own annual salary at 50,000 yuan. All of his interests are, selfishly, completely consistent with the long-term interests of the company. This is incentive compatibility. My friend used this method to split into 7 subsidiaries, and each one was profitable. Summary: understanding incentive compatibility. The reason for the agency dilemma is that the entrustment agency mechanism was not designed with incentive compatibility. Incentive compatibility sounds very high-end, but it simply means the alignment of private interests and public interests. Everyone has a selfish side, and if there is a system arrangement where the more selfish you are, the more money the company makes, that system is an incentive compatible system. Incentive compatibility recognizes the selfishness of human nature and uses the correct mechanism to make selfishness, rather than collectivism, the driving force for everyone to benefit together.